Alright, what is going on? We are back with some more Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. I think somebody is streaming on Netflix right now. I'm not sure how my internet's gonna hold up right now, because somebody just started streaming on Netflix quite a couple of, well, about an hour ago, actually. But, it's okay. We're gonna continue the game, try to get as many more endings as possible. Yeah, we could skip that, that's fine. Hey, achievement unlocked, welcome back. It's great to be back. Alright, anyway, we were doing stuff with the bucket. Where is the bucket? Bucket, where are you? Bucket, there you are. Come here, bucket. Yeah.
Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Yeah. Another thrilling, brilliant adventure with the bucket. Bucket. Wonder if I can go back. Can I go back? No, not really. No.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing
I mean, we don't really need to do that again. We were missing that.
5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth?
Keep going. Hey, Emil.
I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly
Parents are on Netflix right now.
Now suppose
Oh.
you were to click the door 20 times.
If there's any hiccups in the stream, just let me know. Yeah, just keep that in mind. I mean, keep in mind, I am also streaming at 3 different platforms, so I'm eating up a lot of the bandwidth myself. Anyway, we're gonna go right. No, wait, that's left. I don't know my left and right. Okay, we're gonna go left. We may as well do, let's see, which endings haven't we gotten yet? Oh, what is this? Warehouse access plan. We need more plans. There's a no bucket route, which we try to do that. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remain from warehouse floors. Construct new structurally sound bridge. Anyway, we have oh right, the fig leaves as well. We got 2 more to collect. Large room, lots of boxes. It sounds like the warehouse. Somewhere both red and blue. I think I have an idea what the red and blue one is, but that's gonna need the other route. So we're gonna continue on this route for now. And we're gonna actually follow Drew with the path the narrator wants us to take, I guess. I don't know why I checked that bathroom. I checked it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Not the right code.
Presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the
bucket
guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion.
It's the best bucket in the world, let's be honest.
Was 2845.
2845, that was the code.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it
what
the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, we are gonna go... I mean, we've seen what happens when we go up and down the elevator. Let's go down the dark, spooky path this time. That path we haven't taken yet. I wonder what kind of ending we're gonna run into. This way. Especially with the bucket.
The elevator raced downward,
bucket
towards an unknown fate.
All hail the bucket.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Bucket.
Soothing him,
bucket.
Him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty,
I also noticed my Twitch title is incorrect compared to the other platforms. But it's fine.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But what if I want to go down the escape path? Stanley and the bucket goes down the escape path.
Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
It's okay, we had the bucket.
The door behind them was not shut.
Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket still had every
As
opportunity
long as we had the bucket, we'll be
to
fine.
get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Bucket. Oh, what do we got here? Geronimo! As long as we have the bucket, everything will be fine. Bucket. Where's my bucket? Hey, there's my bucket. Anyway, which way is up and down? Oh wait, doesn't this take me to like one of the behind the scenes room? I remember the first one. This takes us to like some sort of behind the scenes room or something.
Warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts
Is that still the case in this one?
to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere.
Bucket!
Farewell,
It's my bucket.
Stanley.
If I duck. Aha!
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
You don't do nothing to my bucket, alright? It's my bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
Bucket.
It was a glorious bucket to behold.
It was the greatest bucket of them all. The bucket welcomes you to the grand. Oh my god, they changed it in the Ultra Deluxe edition. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Would you take what you learn here with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? There's a random chair over here.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley
Fuck
to take a
it.
bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Okay, it's 25 that's more than 25. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. I mean, that's way more than 25, but... A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. I like how they changed the art exhibit in the prequel sequel. Inferno Bucket, a replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. I want to take it with me. Can I take it with me? The stress bucket and analogy: worrying, negative, forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Rest and stress equal to level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. Even in ancient times, they worshipped the bucket back in the caveman era. Cave drawing! While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. I go this way, I can't go this way.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
It is,
It
after
is
all,
man who
the
should
bucket.
kneel before the bucket.
Yes, all hail the bucket. All hail the bucket. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. See the bucket right there. I see it right there. I see it. I see it. I want it. There's no jump button, though. Bucket! Apparently that was invisible floor right there.
There is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
No,
We can
my
save
bucket!
the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
No!
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
My bucket better still be there! Hang on, let me just get some coffee here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket! It lives!
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just
All hail the
smiled.
bucket!
Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
All hail the bucket!
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch.
Bucket,
Did little to
bucket,
discourage
bucket!
Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Bucket!
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm going right this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
You had the bucket,
And
it's
here
fine.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting? No, never mind.
Anyway, let's cross
It
the
was
thing.
wrong. Stanley took the
What
door
happens if I commit
to go
suicide with the
back to
bucket?
meeting room.
You know what? I gotta do that. I gotta jump down.
Said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I found it collectible. Hello.
You're
Oink.
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines.
Can we just call them Figlies?
Select the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
Figlies!
We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
It's fine. Anyway, can I drop down from here? Without killing myself? Kinda doubt it. Might have to just jump. Oh.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
So we
so
jumped.
he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
Yeah.
How deeply touching.
It's my bucket. We live by the bucket, we die by the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
It is the bucket.
Stanley
Alright, we're going this way again.
tightly to his This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
Bucket,
that the
bucket.
employee lounge was simply the place to be.
All hail
And
the
here
bucket.
it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this no? Never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Anyway, let's
Stanley locked the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
go this way.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's
Yep.
something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But
Just
Stanley
listen
chose
to
not
the
think
bucket.
about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
All hail the bucket. The bucket is life.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Bucket. How can the bucket ever lead us astray, you know?
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
What happens if I unplug this again? There we go.
Oh, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How
All
long
right.
should it last?
We'll just sit here for a
How
few,
can it be
watching a
used
quick
to
documentary.
effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully,
That,
the answer to all of these
That
questions
Steam
is
notification is kind of blocking
yes.
the screen right now.
let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh,
Let me see
in
if I
all
can just
likelihood,
remove that.
you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to
All right,
begin
so,
the humor.
How to tell a joke,
The
make sure you
entire joke
introduce
in
yourself.
no
Start
more
out
than
with your name.
15 seconds and no less than 13
That-
and a
that
half,
Steam notification
causing
is in
only
my
for
way.
bathroom breaks when necessary.
Hang
When
on,
the
let
joke
me-
is
let me-
concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny."
What?
Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with
This
the
saying is a
funny.
perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
I need to get rid of that
Finally-
notification. That notification's kind of in my way. Hang on. I do this.
It's time to hand out
That'll remove it
surveys.
for you guys. It won't remove it for me, but it'll remove it for you
Audience
guys.
On how rapt they were throughout the joke is the
But
only
then
way
you
to
guys
grow
can't see
or
the
learn as a
achievements that I
comedian.
unlock.
An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who
No,
threatens our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and
What?
may
No,
Earth
what?
reign supreme.
What? I think this was the wrong instructional video.
This video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay, hang on. What is wrong with my controls right now? Okay, controls seem to be frozen. We might have to do this again. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna have to reboot the game because the controls are frozen right now. Okay, yep, reboot. We gotta reboot. Hang on. I'm rebooting the game. It seems to be frozen, and Steam Big Picture mode is also seemingly frozen. Du- 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 du. Nice job, Steam. That's okay, we're gonna have to sit through all of that again, unfortunately. Also, when booting up the game, there is actually more to it. Like this. Adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. What? Screw you, I'm adjusting this. What is time? Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Hang on. Give me a sec. Let me put this back on. Lots of stuff. Nope. Nah, I don't think I will. But yeah, every time you launch the Stanley Parable, you kind of get bombarded with those questions at the beginning. Alright, anyway. I need to do it all over again because the stupid controls froze on me, but that's absolutely fine.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Indeed. All hail the bucket.
Stanley
Okay, we're going this way.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
And this way.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took
And the bucket
left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Yeah, don't question the bucket. The bucket's words are absolute, alright?
Not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
The bucket's words are absolute.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yep.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Nee, we don't get the joke there either. Anyway, we gotta sit through that entire documentary thing again, so hope everybody's got some popcorn. Hopefully we don't freeze again.
Oh, comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
Yes, let's just watch that instruction video again. Let's just pretend it's the first time we're watching it again.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing?
Yes, what
How
is
does it
comedic
work?
timing?
How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
I just noticed the political enemy.
Can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
90 seconds.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is
yes.
Let's dive deeper. If you ever
You
told
a joke or made someone laugh.
in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them
Alright,
in a
so
room
you
of
gotta-
no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
You gotta make
with
sure
one of
you're
your
50 to
arms
80
raised
centimeters
straight
away.
upward
You know,
at a
76
15-degree
degrees,
angle
you
from
know?
your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing.
Now, make sure you raise your arms up high as well.
Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
Yes.
Speak the entire joke
In no more than 18 seconds.
And no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect
Hey, let's try it
example
this
of
way.
expectations
I'm
management,
Dunny
which is the
with
cornerstone
the
of good
funny.
Finally, it's time to hand out the surveys. Collecting hard data
Alright.
from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a
Uh-huh.
comedian.
Yeah.
An effective survey should be no less than
10 pages long.
and should include
Include the same question reprinted several times in case the,
The
yep.
survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
I'd probably be filling in
And that's all
around
there
them, to be
is.
honest.
With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all.
Yes, how to be a
Just remember
comedian.
to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, with each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Yep.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Yep.
So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Alright, so all the way back. Back with the bucket.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll
I'm
be in
sure you will.
stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Alright, it's back to the beginning. With the bucket. We're still gonna screw around. We're gonna take the wrong door again. As long as we have the bucket, everything will be fine. Alright, anyway.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
No, and I'm going the door on the right.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Oh boy, we
There
broke
was
the game
supposed to
again.
be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video.
Oh, don't you dare make me watch it with you.
Surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready?
No.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
And I'm gonna go on the door on the right.
What? We're back at the phone already?
Amazing.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
And I'm going right.
What? We're back at the phone already?
And here's the reset again. This game really wants me to go left.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Fine, we'll go left.
No, you were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone.
Make up your
You
mind!
can look at the instructional video. I think this is all covered very clearly.
You want me to go
No way
left, but then you
make
did...
comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, all right.
For bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Oh,
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in...
pale in comparison. This is not the credits, by the way. There's still a lot more endings to
I
go.
heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are.
All hail the bucket.
No? Still not... Is it the delivery?
Yeah, your delivery's kind of off, narrator.
Pale with shame? Pale describe a bucket. Stanley,
bucket.
this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar.
What?
No.
Those are some terrible bucket jokes you got there, narrator.
Obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again.
I don't think the instructional videos are gonna help you.
Let's see.
Those instruction videos aren't gonna help, man. Alright, here we are, back at it again.
All of his
On the next
co-workers
loop.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket!
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Alright, let's see. Everything hinges on the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
You know what? Let's head to the mind control facility. We haven't gone through there yet. We're still one collectible short. It's somewhere red and white. Red and blue, rather. I do like how this room basically changed to the figurine thing. Anyway, we are still one short, so...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yep.
Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
Yes, the bucket guides me.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket guides me. I do as the bucket says. I should pick up the phone next. I think that's what we're gonna do after the mind control ending with the bucket. Mind control bucket ending?
The elevator raced downward.
It's basically the exact same game, but now with a bucket.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Bucket!
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes, held the bucket. Bucket, bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't
Can I jump off here? I can't.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Why would they be in my mind? It should be in the bucket's mine.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one.
Trust no one but the bucket.
For the bucket.
The bucket. The bucket is all-knowing. What do we got here?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Let's see what we got here. I could hit the on button.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this?
Everybody will held the bucket!
Prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust, when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again. Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him.
Okay.
This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along?
What?
Stanley marveled at the metal genius
Penguin.
in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
What?
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable.
What?
Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
What?
And Stanley was happy.
Can I leave? Nope. I think that was an ending. That was definitely an ending. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket's coming with
Not
me again.
everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Yep. Bucket comes with me. Alright, we're gonna answer the phone this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room.
It's fine.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting.
We're going.
Go somewhere
We're
else.
going.
The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to
Okay,
do.
we're gonna answer the phone this
Stanley
time.
did not question why or how this
Answer the
bucket was
phone with the bucket this time.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly
Bucket.
did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Alright.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley
We're gonna
once again
answer the phone with the
obeyed
bucket.
blindly.
Answer the
Now
phone.
pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yeah, pick up the phone with the bucket. Bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Where's my bucket? Hey, bucket. Hello, Stanley, it's me, your bucket. Press J to take me.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Bucket. Bucket.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Bucket.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket.
Bucket.
It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location.
It's fine.
That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Where's my bucket at? Bucket. Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Bucket. Press G to ignore anyone in your life except for me. Yes.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Bucket. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley?
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Bucket. Trust you to relive the same day over and over.
God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because, Bucket. Press C to go home to work to home to work to work.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do
All
I
hail
want
the
to be with
bucket.
the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
You don't understand,
Bucket will tell me
narrator.
what to do
You don't
in this
understand the
troublesome
bucket,
situation.
narrator. You don't understand the bucket. Oh, hail the bucket.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
I
Give it to
refuse.
me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
My bucket. It's my bucket. That bucket better still be
All
there.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Aha, bucket's still here.
It takes a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded onward.
All right.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Here's the thing, we have the bucket. Again.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let me think. What else haven't we done with the bucket yet? I'm trying to think. What else have we not done with the bucket? I go left. Oh wait, there's a lot more shit to do at the mind control facility. Let's see what happens if we hit off on the mind control facility.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along?
All right.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We're being guided by the bucket. Alright, back to the mind control facility.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
There's so much stuff we could do with the bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
No.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Come on.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tight.
Alright. We're gonna see what happens if we turn off the mind control facility. I know there's like a lot of stuff we could do in that mind control facility. In the control room and stuff.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power.
Turn off this machine. Turn it off.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
Freedom!
Go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
Okay.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. Listen. Bucket is life, alright?
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Around.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate, assertive yet compassionate.
I keep grabbing the bucket. I don't know why.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
And I, like, walk out this... No jump button. There's a crouch button. Nope. Okay. Let's see. What else haven't we done? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff we can do in that mind control facility. So...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket...
There's definitely a lot more at the control facility.
Logical explanation.
There's definitely a lot more. I don't know. There's nothing more than we might have to just ditch the bucket and go for the standard Stanley Parable endings. Oh wait, no. There is the bucket destroyer. We haven't threw the bucket in the bucket destroyer yet.
Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing
Okay, that's
and into
new.
the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well.
What the hell?
A kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all.
Even though we're still
He'd
in it.
never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the Bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The Bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the Bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The Bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
I mean, is it not an ending?
The Bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Very. And that just is it an ending? I don't know if that's an ending or not. Oh, I think that is an ending. Weird ending. Alright, let's...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. I open this back up? I can't. Can I close this too?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Nope, at least the Bucket is still here. Taking a bucket.
Stanley's Bucket, the only co-worker he would ever truly need.
Yep. It's the only thing we ever need in life. It's the Bucket. Oh, hail the Bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's see. Let's explore the mind control facility a little bit more with the Bucket.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the Bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yep.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
And
stunned to discover
2, 8,
not
4,
an
5.
indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the Bucket knew all along?
Bucket.
Was the Bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
And down. Alright. I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of buttons and switches and stuff to press at the mind control facility center thingy control panel.
Stanley and the Bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But what happens if I let the lights turn on and then walk
The
over?
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the Bucket both wondered to themselves.
Alright, let's turn this on.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the Bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The Bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Damn it. Come on. Here we go. Drop down.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark vault.
Let me see if
below.
it's a little bit different if I do it this
He
way.
fell directly onto the Bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the Bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves.
Alright, well, I don't think it's going to change anything, so let's just jump back to the beginning.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No
we
matter
may be
how
able-
hard Stanley looked,
Yes!
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
What a
Why don't
void.
we take a minute just to drink it all in?
What a void.
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration?
I should bring the bucket here.
And this is Rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected Continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Now I need to come back in. I have to come back now. I need to know. I need to know what happens with the other option.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Yoink.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along.
I want to see the other
He
option.
then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural...
And then we got to bring the bucket here.
So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Indeed.
We take a minute just to drink it all in. Okay.
Very nice.
Now, what do you think? Are you
Super
sick of this
unique.
gag yet? Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then.
I mean,
Now would also be an appropriate time.
why don't you do it for me?
Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the
I
game.
wanted,
So
I
just
want to
push the
watch
envelope,
this
I'm gonna
narration.
try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Oh, and he's got a guitar too.
There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so
Oh,
manly.
man.
But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons.
Yep, buttons indeed.
Pushed them like some
You can
kind
just
of
push every button, you know?
He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable. And makes
Okay.
existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
Unbearable indeed.
You too will become
I
quite
wonder how long he loops this. Is he gonna, like, keep going? I think he's just gonna keep going. Yep, he's definitely gonna just keep going. Yep. Yeah, I think he's just gonna keep going. Alright. Okay, let's try bringing the bucket into the void.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No.
Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
Now we jump out with the bucket.
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger.
Alright.
Of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata
What?
snared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the
What?
ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like...
Wait, what happened? What happened?
Stanley!
No!
You saved us from
Bucket!
the Oh,
No!
you already had all 12 emblems
Bucket!
of Caesar and knew the incantations to summon
No!
the people. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's
bucket!
power. I'm speechless.
The
You've
bucket!
demonstrated such bravery here today. Come,
Bucket!
let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark
Bucket!
inside of it.
Bucket, why? Not the bucket! Not the bucket!
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Bucket, you're okay? The bucket is okay, everybody.
As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
Leaving the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
see. I think there should be more stuff to mess around with here. Well, I guess we could toss it into the bucket destroyer. It's something we haven't done yet. We haven't tossed it into the bucket destroyer yet. I kinda don't want to.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
It's a
Don't
good
you want
bucket.
another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Alright.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Can I go back? I want to see how else I can break this. I mean, the devs have planned for just about everything, let's be honest. Alright. Oh, I guess it's time to toss this into the bucket destroyer. A good old bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
Trying to see
I
if I
think
can
it'll
like
make a
get
wonderful new
by
addition to
this.
the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Yeah, I was able to drop down here, but what can I do down here? I don't think the devs has actually planned for players to drop down here. It does indeed sound like the devs did not plan for the players to drop down here. From my guess, we seem to be in an inaccessible area. We dropped down somewhere where the devs did not intend players to drop down into. Huh. Well, I think we actually broke the game. we dropped down into an area that the developers did not anticipate. Huh. I didn't think it was possible, but apparently it was possible. Huh. Okay, we found it. Okay, hey, devs. If the devs are watching, you gotta do something about this part, man. Add something here. Dialogue or something. Because, yeah, there's no way back up. There's no dialogue continuing anything. It seems to me we may have effectively broken the game. Okay. We've definitely broke it. We found a location without
All of his co-workers were gone.
the thing.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was...
Alright, let's try that again, and this time we're gonna throw it into the destroyer.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Let's do it. Let's throw it into the bucket destroyer this time.
Good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
It's a good
Don't
bucket.
you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fan... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off
All right.
to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs
And this way.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
Here we go.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
And... ah, this door doesn't open. That's a shame. So there's no dialogue this way. Also means there's no going back this way as well. So the devs have failed to think of one thing, or two things rather. They failed to think about players dropping into the void down there, and they failed to think about players jumping over this thing. And there's also no way back as well. And what was the point of this? They should have just left this open, I think. Alright, so there's two things that the devs failed to think about when doing this. I can't even get back there. There's no jump. Yeah. Alright. So another thing the dev forgot to think. So the devs probably never thought that players would be able to, like, hop over this stuff. Or jump down into the void. Like, I feel like that should have been, like, two more dialogue options. Two more, like, branching options that should have been, part of the game, but, not in. This is what I do. This is what I tried to break. I break stuff. Alright. So we know there's two options that the devs did not account for now. Alright, now let's legitimately throw this thing into the bucket destroyer.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
Something has changed. Huh. Can't even close this door. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, we're gonna go right again. Alright, well, time to toss this thing into the bucket
This was
destroyer.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley
Bucket.
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
And this way.
Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked
And
straight
down.
ahead to the opposite door.
Alright, well, there's, I feel like we've exhausted every possible option we're able to do with the bucket, except for the bucket destroyer right now. So, unfortunately, guys, this might be time to say goodbye to the bucket. This is going in the bucket destroyer now. As much as I hate to do it,
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because
I
that's
would like
what
to take the
fans
bucket
want
on
from
the
us.
Adventure
They
Line
want
route
more
and
of
see
their
what
favorite
happens.
jokes. Let this
But I
bucket
can't remember how to trigger the Adventure Line route.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's what the... Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Alright.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
All right,
It's
all
as
right. Well,
classic now as it was back
all right.
then.
I
Let's go
I
for the
hate
plan,
I hate to
Stanley.
do
Let's
this.
give them more content exactly
I hate
like
to do
this.
confusion
But
ending.
if
I
you want
can't
to
figure
do
out how to
your
like.
thing,
I've
you
exhausted
can
every
do it.
option except for this option right now. Like, I think the confusion ending is with the adventure line, but
We
like
need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud.
this
to
is
introduce
like
a
the
brand
only
new
other
feature.
option we have. We've gone through the mind control facility. We've gone through the escape route.
I think it'll make a
What is it?
wonderful new
The
addition
other
to
way
the
around
world of
and
Stanley
the
Parable.
office
True,
and
it
yeah,
also
whatever.
was not in the original game, but it's such a
And
well-fleshed
you know,
out
apparently you
character
could
with
climb
such
over this as well,
personality
but
that
there's
to me
like
it
no
already
dialogue
feels
if you
as though
fall
it's been
off or
part
go
of the
this way,
cast all along.
which
Don't you
I think that's a bit of an oversight from the developers.
Can
So
you guess what the bucket destroyer does? Surely you
this
don't need me to spell it out for you.
this is really the only
Go ahead
thing I
now,
could think
Stanley.
of that
Say
we
goodbye
haven't
to the
done.
bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Oh, Bucket, I'm gonna miss you, Bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your
What if I
bucket.
jumped into
Destroying
it?
buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved
The bucket
Stanley
doesn't wanna
Parable
go in.
characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so dense.
The bucket does not wanna go in?
That it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Can I shut it off?
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly
I'm
now,
trying to.
the fans
It
are waiting.
doesn't.
Do
It
it,
doesn't
the
want.
fans.
It doesn't want to
Stanley,
take
give
the bucket.
fans what they want. Hurry and
Okay, it doesn't want to take the bucket. Never mind. It doesn't want to take the bucket. Okay. I thought it would take the bucket. It doesn't want to take the bucket.
That prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you.
Okay,
all
let's
of
see.
it
What
swaddled
other
down.
routes have we not done yet?
Goodbye, new friend.
Like really, I can't think of any other routes we haven't done except for like
You were.
some of the more original Stanley Parable routes. Because I can't think of anywhere else we could take this bucket right now. If we could unlock the Adventure Line route, I wonder if it's possible to bring the bucket that way. Oh god, what is this?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Bucket!
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
You know, we
Perhaps he
haven't
had
done
simply
this
left a
way with the
memo.
bucket. Now that I think about it, we haven't done this way with the bucket. Bucket, come here.
Finally, yes, the bucket. Yes, yes, yes. I love that bucket.
The whiteboard ending.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing.
Haven't
was
done this
solid
way
to
with the
bucket's
bucket yet.
touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's.
I don't know
belief
if it's gonna
in the
change
magic
much,
of the
though.
bucket.
Alright, well, we're going this way with the bucket. We haven't done this way with the bucket yet. Oh, but it's gonna bring me back to this.
Stanley clasped the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Can I go on the door on the right? You know what? We'll follow it. Question is, does it change anything though? I mean, the broom closet is still available.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
We've done that already. We've done this way as well. We gone this way already. I don't want to go this way. I'm trying to think. I feel like we screwed up somewhere. I feel like we screwed up somewhere. Because this way goes to the mind control facility, and that's it. Mind control and the escape route. And that way goes to the never-ending loopy room thingy where Stanley dies and some lady comes in or something. Damn it! I don't know. We've done this way already. It's just, maybe I should have gone through the right door instead. I feel like we're gonna have to retry that with the right door, but Alright, I guess we'll follow through this one.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
I mean, this is just gonna
Crushed
give
by the
us...
weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yeah, this is just gonna give us that again.
All along, was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical.
That's just gonna give us the, that's just gonna give us either the mind control facility ending, the, over the edge mind control facility endings, the escape route ending. We've done that one already. We've done that one already.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after.
I have to try that again.
One man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together.
Alright, we're gonna try that again. We're gonna try that again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here.
We'll try this again. We'll try this again. But I need the other room.
You see, your friends and
Yep,
I are
yep, okay, I know.
concerned
Yeah. Intervention about the bucket, I know.
because we care about you very much.
Hmm.
It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't
Let
even
us go
the
already.
original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
It's all about trying to figure out
game, like the
how to get the
Adventure Line and
endings.
the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this.
I mean, this entire sequel revolves around the bucket.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you that, but
Pretty
you're
much.
spending too much time with it. Don't you want
Alternative.
another
I mean,
story
we done
involving
the
Adventure
escape
Line?
ending with
You
the
could
bucket
make the
already.
Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes,
Although I don't
yes,
remember an
that's what
escape
the
pod. We
fans
haven't
want.
gotten an escape pod ending.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
I remember there being an escape pod ending, but we'd never gotten the escape pod
Now,
ending.
this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember
Right,
all
this
those
way.
great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something. Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make
I know, we could also jump off. That's one ending. We've done that one already.
It also was not in the original game, but it's such a well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
That door doesn't open.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Look at that. Bucket does not want to go, so we can't
Now
really
listen to me.
destroy the
It's
the
crucial
bucket.
that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets
see, let me
is
see.
all it knows. That is its singular
I
personality.
mean,
trait. Sure, I can
one
hear
ending
you
is just
saying, how does a
climb
character
this
with
and
only
just
one
drop
personality
off.
trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Everybody loves the
Okay,
bucket.
The Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
All right,
Quickly
we'll let
now.
this thing
The
blow up.
fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
All right. Well, no, we done the. Well, I mean, I done the escape route that's right next to the mind control facility, just not the escape pod.
With you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now.
I don't remember how to do the escape pod
My
ending.
friend, for the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Forget the bucket destroyer. We don't need the bucket destroyer. But I'm pretty sure there's probably more to it if we were to continue along this way, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, what else haven't?
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain.
Also, it didn't give me that route again.
Stanley hoped
Huh.
that he would one day see weather.
That's. It didn't give me the alternative office. Huh. Alright, you know what? Give me the bucket.
Time.
It did not give me the alternative office. Alright, let me try.
Stanley clutched
Damn
the
it,
bucket
couldn't get
tightly
that.
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I'm gonna try to see if we can do the confusion office. I mean the confusion thingy. Just
All
leave
this
the boss
courage
office and
and
return to your
What could
office.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to
Is
the
that
meeting
how you
room.
get the
Perhaps
escape
he
pod?
simply missed a memo.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's try that. Alright, I'll take this.
It's bucket time. Stanley
Damn
clutched
it.
the bucket tightly to his
Won't let me.
chest and entered the door.
Won't
on
let
his
me.
left.
Alright, fine. Let's try the escape pod. So it's to go to the boss's office and then return to my office. The Steam
To escape
notification
this,
thing is in the
Stanley
way again.
Bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, and I fucking broke the game. Okay, wait, let me... Flip out the Steam notifications. Oh, crap, it's doing that crap again. Okay, wait, we might have to restart the game again because the Steam notification kind of froze the thing when I try to turn it off. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, hang on. We got this. Restart the game. What kind of game is it? It's called the Stanley Parable. How do you not know the Stanley Parable, Zero? Alright, it's fine. It's fine. We'll just reboot the game. So, this thing again. Does anyone really truly... Yeah, that's right. Every time you restart the game, there's, like, extra tidbits now. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? This is what I do, like a day job. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you I can, and I still don't really know you, and you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm totally being honest, the clock doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. Aw, come on, we're technically streaming. Information, well, it's time for me to know. There's still one more setting that we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again if you can find me. Talk soon. Every time you launch the game... Alright. Let's try this again.
This is the story of a man.
It's a good thing we could skip that.
All of his co-workers
All right.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
Alright,
meeting.
bucket.
It's bucket time.
Oh, it's bucket time. Buckets for the win.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
There's still one more collectible we haven't found yet. I think we might need the, yeah, where is that last collectible anyway? Somewhere both red and blue, so it's, I'm assuming it should be the, what is it, the game's ending or something? Alright. Come on, come on.
Stepping into his manager's
Ah!
office,
I almost had it!
once again stunned to discover not an indication
I almost
of
had it!
human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into
Damn
an
it!
emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of
I almost had it!
his darkest of hours. The bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Alright, it's fine. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. I almost had it!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Wait.
It's bucket time.
Bucket, bucket. Come on, come on. Trigger it, trigger it.
Stanley
Ah!
clutched the
Damn
bucket
it!
tightly to
It
his
won't let me.
chest and entered the door on his left.
I missed every door so far. Yeah, damn it. It's fine. It's fine. Get in there. Come on. Damn it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright. Follow the open pathland on the railings below. We've done that one already. We've done that. You can't bring the bucket there. There's actually there's actually another ending there. Something about the no bucket sign, and then the narrator goes like, "What even is a bucket?" or something like that. All right, hang on. I got this. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Stepping
Ah!
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It's fine.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. It's bucket time.
Keep missing it. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Stanley
Yeah.
tightly to his
It won't
chest
let. Yeah,
and
okay.
entered the door on his left.
We got it. We got it. We got the boss office thing. It's fine. We'll get it. We will get it. Maybe the bucket's in the way. I don't like to think that the bucket's in the way.
Coming to a
I want to
staircase,
bring the bucket with me
Stanley and the
everywhere.
bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay. Alright. Gotta be careful here. Go on.
Stepping into Stanley's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human.
Every time!
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Every time!
In his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos.
Every
It would be
time.
with him, always. The bucket would.
Always miss it.
He knew it.
Every time.
The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion.
You don't have to trigger the closing of the doors, you merely enter and return. Alright, let's try it. Let's try it.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Give me that
skipped
bucket.
bucket time.
Bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, so let's walk in. And technically we're in. And out. Oh, won't let me over. I think the doors might need to close. This door is not opening. Unless there's something... There's something else? Is there something else I'm not thinking of? 'Cause this is closed. This leads to an elevator to nowhere.
Stepping into the manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point,
Maybe we
Stanley
need to
was so
trigger, like,
absorbed in
maybe
the
the
tender
old endings
spiritual
first before we get more
connection
routes
he
for the
shared with
bucket? Because I
he
can't really
didn't
think of
notice
anything
the
else for the
keypad
bucket
behind
right
the
now.
boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket.
Alright. Here, let's try doing it normally without the bucket. Basically standard oh wait, we haven't done this way yet.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle
We haven't done this way yet. Let's see what happens.
What if a crucial outcome fell under
If
his
I do this-
responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed.
I mean, technically this is one of the older endings already.
Why? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Except what?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided
Except
to
the
go
doors
to
do
meet
need to
him.
close,
Perhaps
which
he could
is
send him Mr. Memo.
bit on the tricky side.
It's bucket time.
Guys, take the bucket. I still haven't done this one yet.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
This would probably be easier. There was sprints, but there's no sprint in this game.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, we just gotta keep doing this and hope for the best. Where's the trigger point? I feel like the trigger point's probably like somewhere around here.
Stepping
Yes! Yeah! Doing it backwards, that worked! We did it! I get the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. We did it! Finally! Ugh! You're coming with me, Bucket. We can finally be alone, without the narrator. There we go. Oh man, that took forever to actually do this. But hey, we had the bucket. We're taking the bucket to work with us. Hey. This room's open now. You are now leaving. Take the elevator. What's this? Nope. Alright, alright. Just gotta keep going up. Alright, we haven't done the buckets ending for this one yet. And we gotta figure out the, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more we can do with this bucket. 2 more floors. Wait. I feel like I'm walking against a wall here. Oh, oh, okay. That's... We can use this to orient ourselves, that's fine. Ha. Bucket, it's time for you to be free. Be free, Bucket. Be free. It's time for you to leave this facility. Farewell, Bucket. Farewell, Bucket. Sometimes you just gotta let the things you love free, you know? Alright.
All of his co-workers were
Now let's see
gone.
what
What
changed.
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
The bucket is gone. We've set the bucket free. Farewell, Bucket. The bucket has been set free. The bucket's been set free.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
This is the best possible ending in the 2013 today. Well, this is the 2022 edition. You know, I love how the developers they basically advertise this game as a remastered edition, but it's really more like a remaster slash sequel. That's what it is.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
All
Perhaps
right.
he wanted to stop by
let's
the employee
see.
lounge first, just to admire it.
I'm trying to think. What other endings have we?
Worth admiring, but eager to get back to
Right, we
business,
still need one
Stanley
more
took the first open
collectible.
door on his left.
Which needs the, what is it, the red
Stanley
and
was so bad
blue?
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't
Red and
far.
blue room, I believe, should be that way.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that
jump
investing
down
your
there.
trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've
Wait
been
for
neglecting,
it.
Stanley. Someone you've forgotten.
There we go.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want
See?
to
No
help
bucket
you,
sign.
show you something beautiful.
You can't carry the bucket through here.
Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright, here we are, red
Now
and
listen
blue.
carefully, this is important.
Ah, there it is.
Stanley walked through the red door.
I'll deal with that later. I want this
And there it
collectible.
is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This
This thing has had like a dozen different names already. We had Figgly, we had Stiggly Wiggly, Stanlerine, Figurely. What?
Is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
Are we?
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I'm kind of curious, like, if that unlocks anything. Alright, fine. We'll go to
Well,
red.
thank
That's fine.
God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Alright, well, we have all 6 figurines. I think that probably unlocks something in the meeting room.
What are we looking for?
Let's kill this ending here.
Here. Yeah.
Or actually, we could always see what else is different.
If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
Because there's definitely a lot of stuff, especially on the old paths. There's definitely some stuff that have changed a little bit. Like, for example, the Minecraft and Portal stuff, it's now, Firewatch and Rocket League.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Is he telling me not to jump off? Oh.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I've thought about it.
Oh.
Ah.
Thank God.
But that
You
was
lived.
disappointing.
You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please... No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
For reasons!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
No.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Geronimo! Why am I not
Maybe
dead
you're
yet?
Just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along.
Oh, I mean, Stanley is kind of getting slower, though.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Come on. Up. Up. You got this. Come on. You're almost there, Stanley. Geronimo!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Alright. Alright. Let's see. Let's see if anything changes in the meeting room now that we have all 6 figures.
Stanley,
Oh, what
I'm
the fuck?
sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Yep.
Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
You want to go back to the memory zone?
Than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Are you gonna destroy all my figurines that I collected? Don't you dare do that! Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. The memory zone. That door's locked. Okay, we're going down there.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
I wonder if we could get this and make it like 7 out of
We'll
6.
never be like that again, Stanley.
Gotta collect them all. Ah.
And here was a second Stan Loreen. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
8 out of 6. Good old figurines. Can't keep me away from collectibles.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
I think it was the bathroom. I believe it was the bathroom.
Hey, that's
Ha.
exactly right. It was here
9
in
out
the
of 6.
boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Yes,
I'm
yes we
glad
did.
These moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
And then...
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember
I
being in this
don't
room.
think it
but
was
it's here
pink.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Well, it was definitely not the pink room. I recall it was, some sort of stage or something, though. But it was definitely not here. It seems to me, the narrator's, memory seems to be getting a little bit fuzzy.
This was the 5th mini-stand, and this one was really something special. It was
Yep.
in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly.
Yep, that's
In fact,
correct.
Because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Seriously.
Enjoy.
This is like one of those really old, like, YouTube AMV type crap. With the, like, Windows Movie Maker, editing and stuff. Oh, man, that Windows Movie Maker editing. Who the hell, who even remembers Windows Movie Maker, let's be honest. Oh, that is so cringe. That was cringe.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent
That
a
was
lot of time
cringe,
looking at
narrator.
the
That was very cringe.
minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Ooh. And what's this way? Ah, yes, the final one in the red
And
blue
then,
room.
Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yup.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're
Yeah.
all collected. It was
I wonder what happens if I were to find them in, like, a
Except
different
the
order.
ones picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Are they both the same door? They're both the same door.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
But we have 12 collectibles now. I wonder if it breaks it anymore.
No, I'm not done.
Yes.
I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do it.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Yeah.
I must say,
I'm grabbing more
of the
figures.
figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
There's the most recent one, you know? I wonder how badly we're gonna break the memory zone.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yeah, really cringy. Here we go again. And he's freaking fast forwarding it. Alright.
I love that video.
Most cringiest video of all. And
Don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you screwed up the memory a little bit, but yeah, it's fine. You know what? Listen, this is more collectibles for me to grab. That's fine.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
All right. Let's see. Kind of want to know what's this way, though. Can I go this way? Nope. Won't let me go this way. Okay.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why
Yeah,
does
well,
anyone
it's now the 17th Figley as well.
Keep going.
Gotta collect them all, you know?
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh, man. Wonder what happens. Like, can we grab another one? Do we go back this way? Oh, nope, there's an invisible wall. Can't walk that way. Okay. Is the exhibition hall ending? Oh, yeah, there's the jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally...
The jump circle, which I've used up all the jumps already.
Time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I want more jumps. Can I go this way? Nope. Alright, alright. What was before this? I think it was,
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
these are gonna go the same way, right? Yeah, looks like it. Back to our office.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office?
Would there
There's
be something?
I can remember. I can remember.
What are you remembering before the office?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was...
What?
I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again.
What?
I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Don't retire him.
I enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I'm a little confused.
long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself.
Wait, are we back to the beginning?
Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Replace the bucket is back. Oh, it's not the same bucket, but you know. I have to take it. I have to take
Try not
it.
to lose this one too, you dolt.
The bucket is back.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
All right. I want to check the meeting room because I'm pretty sure stuff in the meeting room has changed.
Still no one was here. Stanley
No, it's back to the original meeting room. It's no longer the figure meeting room.
His office was where he'd find answers.
It's no longer the figurine meeting room.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What if we let this one go as well? What if we let this one out onto the thingy as well? I know, I'm thinking about that as well. Let's lose the bucket again. Right.
Stepping in.
Here we go. Let's lose this bucket again. Replacement bucket. Let's lose it. The bucket deserves to be free. Free the bucket. Free the bucket. Free the bucket. We need to set the bucket free. Alright. Hey Johnny, what's going on, man? Free the bucket! I'm gonna lose this replacement bucket too. We're setting it free. Listen, you know what they say, man. If you love something, you gotta learn to let it go. Alright? Alright, alright. Just a couple of more floors. Technically, Johnny, this is the replacement bucket. Alright, we're letting this bucket go. We're letting the replacement bucket go as well. Goodbye, replacement bucket. Go, be free with your bucket brethren. Be free. Be free, bucket. Be free, replacement bucket. Go, be with the original bucket. Don't let this facility hold you back anymore! Be free! All the buckets deserve to be free!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Goodbye,
Perhaps he had simply
second
missed a man.
bucket. Alright. I'm trying to think, what other endings haven't we done that's not part of the original? I'm kind of curious, like, maybe they changed something with the Adventure Line, one? Should we try that? You know what, let's give that a try. The Adventure Line one, I think, was, how did it go again? Like, we go through that door, and then ignore all the doors, and then take the third door, or something like that?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
I want to see if the
This was
Adventure
not
Line has
the
something new.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I mean, technically, we didn't take that elevator down yet. That was part of the original as well, although something may have changed. Yeah, I know. The original Confusion ending may have changed as well. They definitely made, like, some slight changes and modifications to all the endings. Alright. Let's go
Stanley
for
was so bad
Confusion.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
Confusion should be that way, right?
Here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing in your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Hey, let's
There's
just
someone
wait.
you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot.
There you go.
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want
Wait,
something
is the
bad
Confusion
to happen
ending
to
not
you?
this way?
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really
the Confusion
do
ending
want
was
to help
this way.
you, to show you
Was it not
something
this way?
beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully. This is
Elevator
important.
in that diver. Oh, it was that. Ah. Oh well. I mean, we'll go this way first.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red
Blue door.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Blue door.
You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
All right.
A third
This door.
option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
I'm still going through here.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
I think this is just going to take me to the Rocket League one.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation.
There's another one that I think, like, you have to just do this one for 8 hours or something, which we're not gonna do. That's gonna take forever.
But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
And now, instead of, this is one of the changes they've made. Instead of Minecraft, we get Firewatch.
Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic
Wonder
purpose.
if there is a way to get
Yes,
past the next
that must
part.
be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I already know what's coming up because the first part of the stream we've already done this ending. But I'll do it for people who haven't seen it yet. Although I'm kind of curious if it's possible to get past this next part.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game.
Let me out.
Quickly, block it
Come
off.
on. Get me out before the... Ah!
Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh.
Narrator really hates open world games.
We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Nice squeeze through this.
Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Alright, now we're in Rocket League.
Wonderful. See, this is
Instead of
exactly
Portal.
what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I think last time I went into the blue goal, right?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
This
There are
time
lots of
around, I
cars here
think
in
I
the
should
back,
go
but
into
obviously
orange
there's
goal.
no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Alright.
Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Yep, I see the ball. When I jump in the goal. Yep. Okay, if I recall, I think last time I jumped into the blue... I can't... was it the blue goal last time? Though if I kick it around, he'll start spawning more balls. No, I think last time we scored in the orange goal, right?
winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought.
Goal!
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw
let's see,
adrenal
which one do I want to
pleasure,
drop in,
then
though?
surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric
Which one do I want to
sports
drop in?
experience.
That's the
I want to
question.
try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Not enough balls. Let's kick that in there.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right.
Aw.
Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I am structure.
You're
I'm your
evading
sense
memories
of
just like the
purpose.
narrator
Since you
was
decided
Pink
you
Zone.
didn't want to play
Yep.
my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules.
That's the thing. I don't remember if I went into the orange goal last time or the blue goal last
You're an
time.
inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best.
Did I go in
Take
orange
care,
or blue
Stanley.
last time? If anybody wants to check the stream from this morning and let me know which one I went in last time. You know what? Screw it. I'm going in blue.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Geronimo! Right. And this is back to the office. Doesn't actually do anything, I don't think. Oh right, no, that is
I
the
wonder
ending
what he
itself.
found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his
I
choice,
can't remember,
if
like...
he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
Alright, well, we'll try
I
the
understand
confusion
what
ending,
I
see
was
if there's
trying to
anything
tell
different
him.
with it next.
He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That
Alright.
is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a...
Although I do wonder if it's possible to get out of the Firewatch
Yeah,
area. Like,
yes, soon.
maybe when we move quick enough, we could get by the walls before they're off.
I can wait.
I don't know. Maybe there's like a path we could take that would get us right past the walls. That would be great. Idea. What idea have you got?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
What idea? What's your idea? Pick up the bucket within the It's a possibility. We could try the confusion ending and then see if the bucket spawns. All right. Well, we have another replacement bucket. That's the third bucket we're gonna get. Nothing's really gonna change. But you know what? Nice replacement bucket. All right. Yeah. Let's try. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see if the bucket spawns into confusion
Stanley
ending.
came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
Alright,
lounge
alright.
first. Just to
Confusion
admire.
ending. See if the bucket spawns in it.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Just this way and
So
down
he
the elevator.
detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's see. Let's see what happens. Can we
Stanley
pick up?
didn't want to go back to the
Can we
office.
pick it up
He
in the
wanted to
confusion
wander
ending?
about
Let's
and get
see.
even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go from here it's left. Oh no, it's to the right. My mistake.
All right.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was
It's
I
the right or the
thinking?
left?
It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
You sure it's that way? Anything here? Nope.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
Close your eyes, everybody. Spoiler alert.
Back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
All right. Let's see if the bucket is here. Give us that bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the
No
Perhaps
bucket.
he had simply missed a memo.
There's no bucket. No bucket. No bucket. No bucket. There's no bucket. No bucket. There's no bucket. I think the entire stream.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game.
There's no
completely
bucket.
Fresh. Everything should be... Oh,
Bucket.
Change.
I missed the bucket already.
Did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote
There's
the
no
story.
bucket.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here.
All right, maybe something changes with the confusion ending this time around.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Can I, like, climb on this? Get through here, maybe? Oh, I guess we could have just gone this way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before.
Are you sure?
Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
No
memo.
bucket. No bucket. No bucket. I missed the bucket already. Anybody else missed the bucket?
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Alright. Well, we're on the confusion ending now, so...
Aha!
No bucket.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite...
You gotta
recall, but I
appreciate the
believe
updated
my story
textures,
took
at
place
least.
in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Hey!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Yeah, the demo. Oh. Okay, well, that's slightly different.
All right, I've got a solution. This time,
This
make sure we don't get
slightly
lost,
different.
I employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Slightly different, but the question is whether or not it's still going to be the same adventure line as the original Stanley Parable, or is it going to take us off on a completely different journey? Well, one way to find out. You just follow the adventure line. That goes that way. What happens if we go this way, though?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Okay. Absolutely fine. Alright, we'll follow the adventure line. Which is kind of, so far, shot for shot, kind of the same as the original so far.
The story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of
Might
existence
go this
is,
way.
in fact, a byproduct of one's subjective
I'll wait for the
experience
narrator
of
to
that
stop talking
existence,
first.
Right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there.
Follow
Well,
the
I'd like to
new.
apologize.
Is it new? I can't even remember.
Going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music. to
Alright,
lighten
whatever.
the
We'll go
mood.
this way. What the fuck? Do we just... What? Wait, is it just a loop? I think it's just an infinite loop. Yeah, I think it's just an infinite loop. Yep, it's just an infinite loop. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we are following the line then. Unless we could, like, break this somehow. Alright. Get the line getting more and more wacky. Can I, like, get over this? No? I'm just looking for anything new right now. That's what I'm looking for. So far, it is relatively the same, though. the wacky music as well, you know? It's this way. Oh, nothing. Alright. Yeah, you would think that. What is this way? Wait, hang on. What? 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 There's a bit of a... What the... What? Okay, Wait, what? I'm so lost now. Wait. Huh? Wait. Didn't we... What? 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 Huh? Isn't this a what? I'm so confused. I'm so confused now. What? What? I am so confused. Wasn't this just the hallway? I'm so confused now.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the
Very,
story.
very
Make
important.
sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I'm so confused with this room.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
It seems to me it's just following the original version. Which is so confusing, the layouts of this. Like, you think it's so much wider over there, but then you look over here, it's like, wait, what? God. Oh, this game is such a mindfuck sometimes.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Honestly, it doesn't seem like anything has changed. Oh, and now we're back to the original adventure line. What?
You know what, Stanley?
Okay.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Yeah, sure, we'll go this direction.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley.
Sure, we've gone insane. Trust me, I'm already insane. This game is such a mindfuck sometimes.
Not you
Oh,
again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
I want to follow the line though.
We should be fine.
Follow the line. Oh, the line's gone.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control.
You sure about that?
We mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
Yep.
Come,
Very
Stanley.
logical.
Our destiny awaits.
What if I want to go left though?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
I've forgotten how many times we've reset it so
Really
far.
how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I
All right.
don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Probably not.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
And there's the reset. Doesn't really do much, does it?
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
Oh, that was the
He
confusion
hoped it
ending.
was. He hoped very much that it was.
And at least we still had the bucket. Hmm. Hmm. I'm trying to think, like, what other endings is the adventure line again? What other endings haven't we done yet? Done everything. I think we've done everything we could with the buckets. We got all the figures. Is there anything new in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition that hasn't been touched on yet? I can't really think of anything, because really the only endings that we haven't really seen, like, so far in the two streams that we had all day today, we've seen just about every ending except for maybe a couple of handful of, like, the original Stanley Parable ones. And I think we've seen everything that we could do with the bucket, and it's quite obvious we can't take the bucket on the confusion ending, the confusion line, or whatever, confusion ending. Because if we go down that elevator, it takes us into, like, the intervention thing with the bucket destroying machine or something. I can't really think of, get out through the window. We've done that already. We've gone out the window. We've done it with the bucket as well. And we stabbed the bucket. The bucket got stabbed. We've done that already. I can't think of any more endings besides just a couple of vanilla ones. Well, original ones, rather. You never saw that ending? Here, I'll do it for you once.
It's bucket time.
There we go.
Yes,
Whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
we've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for
Alone
the
with
first
the
time, I
bucket.
can reveal to you my true self.
The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of— No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like— My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
And that's what happens if you take the bucket out the window. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
But yep, that's what happens when you take the bucket out of the window. But it's still here. Good bucket. All hail the bucket. Praise be the mighty bucket. Praise the mighty bucket. Alright. Well, I can't really think of any other endings we could do with the bucket. I feel like we've taken it on, like, as many endings as we possibly could, in every possible path that we could think of. We might probably just call this stream here, I guess. Remember, guys, 3 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Pick whichever one works the best for you. I would suggest Twitch or YouTube, to be honest. And yeah, live stream whenever I happen to have time. That's pretty much it. Yep. Until then, that's the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe Edition. which they advertised as a remaster, but it's quite obvious it's not a remaster. Held the bucket. Praise be the bucket. Praise the mighty bucket. This bucket is the thing that physical reality relies on to exist. Yes. Alright? I don't know. There is meant to be 40... Is there seriously meant to be 42 endings? And I did less than half of that. There's still a few more to do. Oh, man. Is there really... Oh, man, I'm gonna have to look that up, and we'll have to do another stream on that. To figure out what the hell we did. I know there's, like, a lot of, like, achievements that I'm still missing here. Like, right here. Beat the game, test achievements, commitment. Played the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday, which is never gonna happen, let's be honest. Go outside, don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. Technically, we could cheese this achievement. We could just set the system clock to like 10 years in the future and then log back into the Stanley Parable and it'll count it. That's one way to get that achievement. This achievement, on the other hand, test achievement, please ignore. I'm not entirely sure how to get this achievement. You'd think it'd be at the expo thing, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Wait, try that. Try what? What am I trying? What? The expo? I mean, the expo is where we first got the bucket. Although, wait, when I closed the first stream, I did unintentionally get the Settings World Champion thing, which we were trying to figure out how to get in the first stream, and I unintentionally got that after tweaking a couple of words. Did not mean to do that. Actually, yeah, I should probably see if that door's open now. Actually, yo, I'm gonna go see if that door's open now. That should be... Which way is that? I'm trying to think. Which direction is that again? I think it was the... No, it's not the escape pod ending. Which way was it? I can't remember which direction that was. It was like the expo ending. Where we first got the bucket. Oh wait, no. I remember now. We only got that because this door was open. And like there was a huge sign that said new contents. So we can't even go back there now. Oh, I think we might have to start a new game for the World Settings Champion thing. Because this was basically where the Ultra Deluxe Edition's content started. Like, you do a couple of the Stanley Parable rounds a couple of times. I think like 2 or 3 times, and then this door is open with a sign that says new contents. And then when you go through it a second time, there's like a big neon sign that said new content. We can't even get to the expo ending because this door is not even open anymore. Oh. Eruption ending with the bucket. Oh yeah, we did that already. It just sends you into a bit of an endless loop. Until basically it sends you into an endless loop until you go back on the right path. So it's not really much of a corruption ending, it's more like an endless loop. So every time, like, when you go back to the room with the 2 doors and then keep taking that door, it just keeps looping you back into the start here, forcing you to take nothing but the left door just to continue the story. Well, luckily you could catch the VODs on what is it, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, as well. Yeah, all the VODs will be available. But right now I can't really think of any other endings that we could probably do with the bucket. there's definitely a lot more we could do, and I think there's one that we need to go back into the new content area, but I don't know how to open this again because I want to see what the world champion setting thingy door was back there. All right, well, I'm gonna end this stream right now because I got something I need to do in an hour. I guess we'll do more Stanley Parable, whenever I get a chance. Maybe next weekend, I don't know. Maybe on Friday, I don't know. We'll see, because there's definitely, if Pamini is right, there's 40-something endings, and we've only gotten, like, half of it, probably. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to take a head count to see how many endings I've gotten. But yeah, we're gonna end this live stream off here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I want to do more Stanley Parable if there's like a bunch more endings that we haven't gotten. But I think today was a very fulfilling day. We've gotten quite a couple of endings. You know, the stream was broken up into 2 parts, with like a 3 or 4 hour break in between it. But I think it was fulfilling. I mean, we managed to do quite a bit with the bucket. We got all the figurines, and I can't think of any other endings right now that we could possibly get with the bucket. So, that's gonna be it. You guys all have a good day, and we'll do more Stanley Parable once I figure out what other endings we haven't done yet. That's it. Bye bye.